Derby is a classic, a mile and a quarter distance.
Welcome to News Channel 12, live at 1:30. I'm Allison Ball.
And I'm Jonah Listerman, and the countdown to the Kentucky Derby is officially on. And Allison, I am so freaking excited. We hadn't had a Derby show in the past 2 years, and I'm so excited with all the content that we have for you guys today. It's going to be such a fun show.
Super excited for the Derby and all that it has to bring. I know you got to talk to a lot of important people.
Yes.
And we're going to hear what he has to say.
One of them was Mayor Greenberg, and you know, the Derby doesn't start until the mayor says so. So here's what he had to say about hosting the Derby every single year.
Well, that's one of the unique things and why I don't think there's any other city in the world that could host the Derby Festival and Derby. We're used to it now, so we do prepare for it. One of the things is, for example, our police department, our first responders, there are certain days that they're all required to work, like Thunder over Louisville or Derby Day and Oaks Day. And so you plan calendars accordingly over the entire year, knowing that that's part of the situation. But it's something that, because of our experience, we're now able to prepare for every year.
And one of the largest annual firework events is what kicks off the Kentucky Derby Festival, Thunder over Louisville. And on April 18th, Thunder over Louisville made its return after last year's cancellation due to severe flooding. And for an even better comeback, the theme was Thunder in the USA, and this is to celebrate America's 250th anniversary. And as tradition, one of the nation's top air shows starts the event off. Weather wasn't looking amazing, but that does not stop Kentucky. The fireworks did not disappoint. Look at them on that Louisville skyline. They look beautiful, super great views, all types of places you can go to watch. Louisville offers a great variety of all of that. And, you know, the show is a Louisville staple and always excites people for this Derby season. It's a great way and a great tradition for Louisville to kick off the festival long before race day. Yeah, so behind the Derby Festival, there's a lot that goes on, but...
Oh. And here is actually what Mayor Greg had to say again.
Again, yeah.
Well, it is truly a marathon because it's 3 straight weeks of Super Bowl-like events that we've been planning for all year. I view my job as to welcome people to our city, to thank our first responders, to be available in the event things don't go as they are planned to go, as we had last year when we had to cancel Thunder over Louisville. But it's a wonderful time of year, and you deal with sleep after the big race.
The Kentucky Derby continues to hold its spot as one of the top revenue-generating events in sports. This year, ticket prices range from about $150 for regular infield seating to VIP options that climb past $10,000. Churchill Downs brings in more than $300 million annually, with the renowned Derby Day betting hitting a record of $349 million in 2025. The event attendance regularly tops around 150,000 and more than 17.7 million watching from home. Despite the financial success generated from the Derby, Louisville Tourism CEO and President Cleo Battle hopes to expand the city's travel access and hotel capacity to attract more visitors.
We need more direct flights. We need more hotel rooms. Despite the fact that I just told you all about a 1,000-room hotel at JW Marriott, we are still so far behind our competitive set. Even if those were open today, we would still be behind the cities we compete against, like Columbus, Cincinnati, Indy, Nashville, St. Louis. They just have more hotel rooms than we do.
And Churchill Downs Incorporated is growing in the horse racing industry, and it has agreed to acquire the Preakness brand in an $85 million deal. This was announced Tuesday, and more specifically, Churchill bought the intellectual property, including all trademarks and all associated rights of the Preakness Stakes and Black-Eyed Susan Stakes. And the Preakness is the second race in the famous 3-race series, which starts with the Kentucky Derby and ends with the Belmont Stakes. It will continue to be held at Pimlico Racecourse in Baltimore, Maryland, and Churchill Downs will now license the rights back to the state for an annual fee. The deal is expected to close after the 2026 Preakness Stakes, which is on May 16th. Super excited, great deal that we're learning about right now. But Maggie, weather, is it going to rain? Is it going to shine? What do you got for us?
We are looking at kind of a rainy couple next of these days, and you know what, we need that rain with this drought we've been having. But let me tell you about the weather today. We're going to see some of that rain later tonight, but right now actually 78 degrees. It is warm outside. It has been feeling like summer, those summer-like temperatures as we move throughout April. Beginning of this week, we were in those middle to high 60s, and now we're 78, and we're going to keep on rising until about Wednesday and Thursday next week. But if you don't like these warm temperatures, don't worry, because we've got a good breeze going on to help you cool down a little bit as we have these 80s and these low 70s all throughout Kentucky, unless you're in Paducah. If you're in Paducah, you must be enjoying these high 60s. These cooler temperatures make it feel more like spring. However, our real story is going to be this rain we're experiencing and going to be bringing in later tonight and into Saturday morning, which I'll talk a little bit more on later. However, looking ahead, we've got a rainy week, which is going to help with that drought. And we've got the upcoming cool down just a little bit and then a slight storm risk. So coming up, learn how one pop-up store has made its mark on Bowling Green.
First night here, but Amy seems cool.
Leading down to the river. I am blind, but I need not see.
What do you think?
I know this road is there for me. If I'm really free, take me down to the river and walk.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
You know, Allison, it would not be the Derby without its iconic racetrack. Churchill Downs has been a staple and has been around since 1875. It was founded by Meriwether Lewis Clark, and his vision was to have a premier horse race in the United States. He selected Louisville because of its rich racing history. Since then, the Derby has had many iconic moments. The first ever was actually the first Kentucky Derby in 1875, which started the tradition we now know and love today. The next, it was being one of the biggest upsets, which was only 40 years later. Donerail won with 91-1 odds, which is the highest odds in Derby history. Churchill Downs has such a rich history that continues to be made as each year passes.
Yes, and there are many smaller details that the average Derby goer can miss at Churchill Downs. One of them being the 175 acres at the racetrack, and it's pristinely taken care of by Matt Bazell and his team. They start their preparation in July, and these flowers consist of lilies, tulips, and peonies, and when the flowers are delivered, they are planted in the greenhouse until the colder months are over. Then they are planted right on the Churchill grounds 2 weeks before the Derby, and while the flowers look pretty, they still need plenty of love and care, so they do a lot of prepping before that big day.
But the biggest problem biggest thing I worry about is the cold. So we are planning 19 to 20,000 annuals before the frost-free date for the Louisville area. So basically all of our plants have to be in the ground for opening day, the last Saturday in April. We can still have really cold weather at that point. So we grow extras in case of that, but we do not have, if there was a catastrophic frost or freeze, we do not have enough plants to replant all of those. So that's something that I worry about a lot.
You know, we talk about the small details that people miss, but there's also two races that I feel like can get lost in the hustle and bustle of the Kentucky Derby, that being Thurby and Oaks.
Yes, Thurby and Oaks, and Thurby was actually recently added, not too recent, but within this decade. You know, it's on a Thursday night, then we have Oaks on Friday, big day of Derby on Saturday. It's always been, you know, Oaks first, then Derby, now Thurby, which I think is also bringing a lot of revenue in, you know, more eyes. We have more celebrities coming to these races. But I know, Jonah, you've been studying a little bit about these contenders for the Oaks, Thurby, Derby. Which ones are we talking about here?
So I've done a lot of research on Oaks, and so one of the head runners or head contenders to win Oaks is Zanny, and Zanny has odds of 4-1, and she's actually the daughter of American Pharoah, which, funny enough, I think he won the Derby the last time I actually really watched the Derby, which was back in 2015. But it wasn't just the Derby that he won. He also won Preakness Stakes and Belmont Stakes, which makes him a Triple Crown winner, which is pretty impressive. I know too that Zanny has actually only really raced at Keeneland, but she is, again, a top contender, and I think a lot of people are excited to see her because of who her father was.
Yes, so her father is leaving a legacy. Now she's here, see if she steps up. I know you have a pick, but we're gonna find that out later.
Yes,
so
we
we'll
do.
see how that goes. But now we're gonna talk a little bit about fashion, right?
Yes, we are. Fashion is a big thing in the Derby, and this past week I had the opportunity to visit a local Derby hat store to see how they prepare for the fastest 2 minutes in sports.
Across Kentucky, many people celebrate the Derby in many different ways. One way here in Bowling Green is with hats.
When I moved back here to Bowling Green about 10 years ago, there wasn't a Derby store, so I decided to try it and see what happened. So we started out selling about 12 hats 10 years ago, and now we're celebrating our 10th anniversary, and we do about 650 hats in about 4 to 6 weeks.
While Prim and Brim is located in Bowling Green, the store changes location each year.
We decided to do the model of a pop-up store because people don't really shop for Derby hats around Christmas. So we decided the best time is once all the spring dresses have come out and everyone is selecting their outfits to then be able to come in about 4 to 6 weeks before Derby is when we open, and then you can pick anything out and we'll try to help you match your hat or fascinator to the dress that you get. Hat making really just starts with just being creative. We have learned through Derby over the past couple of years seems to get a little bit more creative and exotic and wild. So, you know, now it's anything goes. So, you know, we just try to start with a frame, with a basic frame, and then we work from there and we decide, you know, the color palettes. Sometimes people like monochromatic looks like something like this, or sometimes they like bright pops of colors. So we also created a feather bar here at Prim and Brim, so someone can either start with a basic hat, and if they want to add royal blue or Kelly green or white or other shades of pink, they could do that. But again, it's Derby Day, so you wear anything you want. It's a great time to live in Kentucky. We celebrate Derby. Even if you don't go to Derby, there are Derby parties. At country clubs, there's home parties. There's just fundraisers as well that are Derby themed. So, you know, it's just a fun time to be here, and that's why we continue to do it. The business has grown because of all of the support from the community, and we're very grateful for that. And you never know, we may be expanding someday.
Be sure to stop by and pick up your hat to go with your dress. For News Channel 12, I'm Jonah Listerman.
Prim and Brim is open until May 1st, so be sure to get your hats now. And speaking of hats, you might want to hold on to them because it's going to get a little windy this week. Coming up, we've got forecaster Maggie Dalrymple to give us next week's weather.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School, college first round draft pick. On and off the field, we were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating, but I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20 plus years was physical physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains.
There's no sparks.
But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to our Derby show here on News Channel 12. I'm going to be giving you a weather breakdown of the weather leading up to the Derby. Right now today, 78 degrees outside. Again, like I mentioned earlier, it is windy. So as Jonah mentioned, if you have that Derby hat, you might want to hold on to it because it would fly right off with those winds at about 17 miles per hour. And then all throughout Kentucky and the entire state, we've got those warm temperatures, those starting to feel like summer temperatures as we move throughout the rest of April. 83 in Springfield, 79 in Bowling Green, and just around those high 70s, low 80s, except for in Paducah, 68 there, really nice. Feeling that cooler temperature there. However, what I really want to point out and what I really want to talk about is this drought we are experiencing right now, which this rain we're going to see coming in tonight, tomorrow morning, and later into next week. That's going to help us with this drought. Right now, Warren County and some of the surrounding counties are actually on a burn ban because of this drought. And right in Bowling Green right now, we're on that severe level. So this is something to be wary of, and we have that burn ban to always keep in mind as well. So this rain, that's going to be helping us. And as I speak of this rain, let's take a look at that future radar. Friday at around 8:30 and throughout the rest of the evening hours, it just stopped at 8:30, but before 8:30, we're going to see that rain start to move in, a couple of showers. Now, there is a slight risk for stronger storms. However, here in Bowling Green, we're probably going to get just that heavy rain and those rain showers rather than strong storms. But Friday, we've got that weather moving in, and then Saturday morning as well. I'll move over here so you can see it a little bit more clearly. We've got that system move in the early morning hours. So unless you're awake at 4 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, shouldn't be something to worry about. You just sleep right through it, which is always the best. You know, falling asleep to rain sounds, that's what's lovely. Sunday, clear day, and then moving into Monday, just seeing a little sneak peek, because obviously the weather changes, but a sneak peek, we'll see those showers possibly move in. And then our storm risk, which I mentioned just a little bit throughout the kind of eastern part of the country, we are just a little under marginal. So we aren't going to be looking at anything, nothing to worry about here, not much to worry about. And if there is, and if it does become stronger, we will update you on all of our socials as well. But that 7-day rain graph, again, as I mentioned, it's going to rain. It's going to help with those drought conditions throughout the rest of the week. We're going to see those high temperatures, those rain chances, and then those rain chances and that colder air is going to bring us into those more mild temperatures Wednesday and Thursday, and hopefully it'll be around those mild temperatures for our Derby, but we'll keep you updated on that. But coming up, reporter Cole McIntyre will give us a breakdown of the top contenders for the Derby.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Welcome back into News Channel 12. The countdown is on to the Kentucky Derby, where 20 horses will enter, but only one will wear the roses. And today we're breaking down the top contenders and all of the storylines heading into this year's race. And first up, we are going to talk about the favorite in Renegade. 3-1 odds. And if you're betting based on trends, I have some news for you. You're probably not going to want to bet on Renegade. The favorite has not won in 7 years after the favorite horse won 6 straight times from 2013 to 2018. Some more trends for you. The horse lined up in post 5 has won 10 times, and tomorrow Churchill Downs hosts a live drawing to pick position, so make sure you look at that before you make your bets. And then also one of the most successful trainers in horse racing, Bob Baffert, is back with his horse Patente, who posts 20-1 odds ahead of the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. There's also Chief Wallaby at 10-1 odds, who is trained by Bill Mott, who, if you're a Derby watcher, you know that name because he won last year with Sovereignty. So lots of exciting things happening at Churchill Downs. They also received a $300 million renovation to the facility. Some big things happening in Louisville, Kentucky.
No, definitely, for sure. And I think because of that, you know, all the people that really want to be at the Derby, that's why they have to up it so much. But we're going to take a little bit of a different turn that we haven't done on News Channel 12. We're going to go ahead and start with Pick'ems. So Cole, why don't you start us off?
Absolutely. We're going to start off with some of our favorite Kentucky foods and drinks. I'm going to start off with an old-fashioned Bourbon State. You got to, I think, have that at the Derby.
Yeah, old-fashioned, that's a good pick, but I think I'm going to have to go with Derby pie. Can't go wrong with that one.
No, you can't. But I think I'm going to have to go with a Benedictine sandwich. It's a little bit lighter, and it's something you can eat quick and easy.
You know what, Jonah? I'm also going to pick Benedictine sandwiches. I think that is a really good pick for Derby food.
All right, let's talk some betting. Let's talk some horses. So we're going to pick our favorite long shot. That's the horse with 20-1 odds or worse. So I'm going to go with Patente, 20-1 odds, trained by a historic trainer in Bob Baffert. I'm going to go there.
I'm going to go with Silent Tactic. I mean, the name says it all. He's a silent tactic. He may come up and win the whole thing. He has 20-1 odds as well, so it's right on that boundary line.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Chip Honcho. He's raced at Churchill Downs before. He's got 30-1 odds, but I think he could do it.
And I'm going to pick Right to Party with 50-1 odds, but I think he's got it. He's got the right to party. I think he could have a good chance at that.
All right, so these are the ones we're probably going to place a lot of our money on. We're going to pick our favorites, who we actually think is going to win the Kentucky Derby. Chief Wallaby is mine, 10-1 odds. Again, trained by trainer Bill Mott, who won it last year. So back-to-back wins for Mott and Chief Wallaby.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go with Commandment. He has 5-1 odds. I know they might have changed a little bit, but honestly, I think he is a favorite, not going to lie.
Yeah.
I know there's going to be a lot of picks for him, but I'm one of those. I'm picking him too.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Further Ado. He has raced at Churchill Downs, Keeneland, and has won at both. So I think he definitely has a good chance of winning.
And I'm going to pick So Happy. He's got 15-1 odds, and what's really special about him is his jockey is Mike Smith, who has won 2 of the Kentucky Derbies. So I think with such a good jockey and his trainer, and his odds aren't that bad, I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah, and I know we also just talked about all the sweet treats and everything, so when we return, reporter Luke Hughes will show us the secret to making a signature Derby treat.
A lot of my friends told me that I wasn't going to be able to do it. You don't need to start out with a teenager because they've had all these things that they've gone through.
Could we give him the things he needed to be a successful adult?
What parent isn't worried about, what am I not doing right? What am I not doing enough?
That's my son.
My dad showcased a sense of love that I never had before.
I had a rough time, but I saw that even though the way I was acting, they didn't push me away.
She says that we're her heroes, but she's also mine.
I've had 3 other mother figures in my life, but only one of them has taught me how a mother loves.
How you guys raised me is absolutely amazing. And I really, really appreciate that.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing that keeps us focused.
A habit we never skip to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game, to drown out that self-doubt and support your mental health? Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind and your mental health.
Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
It's Luke Hughes over here in Studio One. We're gonna be making a Kentucky classic, Kentucky Derby pie. We're gonna be putting my cooking skills to the test. Let's have some fun, let's do this. We're lazy, so we're getting pre-made pie crust because I'm not making my own pie crust, but we're gonna go ahead and put this in the oven to defrost. We're gonna be using some brown sugar, some white sugar, some eggs, vanilla extract, chopped walnuts, and semi-sweet chocolate chips, and some melted butter. The original Kern's Derby pie recipe is actually secret, but this is our News Channel 12 version. So the pie should be defrosted, so we're gonna take it out of the oven, and it should be ready for some filling. All right, we're gonna pour the pie filling into the pie crust. And now we wait. I have high hopes for this, so. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes, so let's take this out of the oven and see how it looks. I've seen worse. I've seen worse. So we're gonna taste test this now, see how we did. Not bad, actually. Tastes like sugar and butter and vanilla. Delicious. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Luke. And what you didn't see in that video is that he didn't include flour. So if you're gluten-free, perfect. We got a pie for you. But Miss Jonah over here, she fixed us up. So we're going to try it. Derby pie. Everyone give your ratings, 1 through 10.
Flour included in this one?
Flour is included, yes.
Okay.
I realized that after
Brian
we
Elliott
made
is
his
not
pie.
happy with us eating upset.
No, he's not. But it's okay. We
It's
have leftover
good.
pie for him.
Yeah,
It actually
I like
is
it.
really good.
Okay.
It's better
That's
than
not
I
bad.
kind of expected. So, all
I'll
right,
be
1 through
taking
10.
this
Go,
home.
real quick, real fast.
8.
7.
6.
7.
Thank you guys, but unfortunately
you.
that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to us.
Have a great day.